Hi, it's Chris, and I'm coming early for my Monday motivation on April 19th, and it's 3 o'clock. So normally I've been coming in at 4 o'clock, but my daughter's home for a week. Tomorrow's her 25th birthday, and so we've got a couple things to do, like getting her car in for a service at 4:25. So that was going to put a crimp in my going live at 4. So I hope you don't mind. If you're not able to watch me live, then go ahead and I hope you can watch the replay. So, oh, Melissa's telling me that there is no sound. Yikes. Melissa, can you hear me now? Okay, great. So, yeah, Steph's in the background doing an online class, so hopefully you don't have to learn too much about x-rays and reading radiology things. Today we're going to be working with this fabulous set from Close to My Heart. It's the Daisy Meadows card making workshop, and I fell in love with it for this gate die. We have a house here in the neighborhood that has one of these trellises, and they have a white picket fence on either side. So today, even though this card is beautiful, I'm going to show you an idea of how to add a fence to this. And I hope you like it. I probably won't make the whole card today, but let's go ahead and get started and see how far we get. So I am going to put down my craft mat because I'll be doing some gluing. And I went ahead and I cut 1, 2, 3, 4 gates. And I did that, I'm not sure if you watch Jennifer McGuire, but a lot of times she stacks her die cuts to give them a little bit more dimension. And it's not something I've done regularly, but I like the idea, and we're going to try that today. It just means that we have to make sure that we don't add too much glue and that we go lightly. So Jennifer tends to go with 3 layers. So I have the 4 because I'm going to show you that we need 1 more for this adding the picket fence. Now when I was die cutting in mass, 2 of them stayed in still within the paper. Let me make sure that, and they stayed in probably because I didn't die cut them well enough. But this one is going to pop out. I thought it might be a good idea because I want to try and stamp a little grass on there. I thought it might be a good idea to just leave them intact, and it might be easier to stamp the grass, but we'll go ahead and see. So in this set, you get both the dies and a really cute little stamp set for adding a lot of details. And in this one, I'm going to be using the grass. So let's go ahead and just stamp that on, and I have 2 grasses. I have green apple and clover, and I'm going to go ahead and, so when I put this on my card, it's as if there's grass growing along the fence line, which is pretty typical, like if you don't want to have the weed whacker out all the time. So I'm mixing the direction of the grass and stamping at different levels. So I think that's going to be really nice. I'm going to do 1 more while I have the stamp out, and you're going to see why later. So I'm just going to add a couple. See, now it's a lot easier to do it with it in. So I might just tuck it back in. Gives me an idea of where to place those different grasses. So today's really overcast here. I don't know about how it is where you're watching. Melissa says usually there's weeds along the fence line, and that is the truth. So, but if you are watching me live, I love it when you leave a comment or an emoji if I say something that you like. All right, so I've got 2 stamps, or 2 gates now stamped with grass, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this one out real quick. But the other ones I did before already. And you get this really funny looking thing. It's almost like a jellyfish. It's pretty funny. So while I'm here, I need to pop out also these little gate inserts. Tuck those over to the side. So this gate is a little fussy, but not too bad. I found that if I tried to cut 2 at a time, I just needed to make sure that my machine was shimmed well, and I would run it forward and backwards 1 more time. So 72 degrees sounds nice. Right now I had to put the heat back on. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and snip right here, and I'm gonna snip right here and set that aside for now. So now let's go ahead and start stacking our gates, and I'm going to go ahead and stack from the bottom up, I think, and I just want to make sure that I don't get too much glue on, but I do need to get glue to hold the layers. So this is kind of the, again, this card you're probably not going to do in mass, but if you have someone special, you have a special birthday, or for Mother's Day, I think this card would be really lovely. I'm just going to give it a little dot here, but I am working on my craft mat so that if it blops over, I'm okay. And now I just want to line these up. And so I can come in a little bit wiggly, and then I just want to, that went really, really well. So I'm surprised how well that went. In kindergarten, we tell them to count to 10 while they're holding down their papers so that it glues together and it stays in place, and I think that's beautiful. So that's 2 layers. So here you can see it already has a little bit more dimension than the top layer. Next, I want to add my fence line to make it a fence. So remember how I cut those 2 pieces apart? It goes from tall down to low, but now we're going to actually flip-flop sides so that I continue that tall, and then I'm going to go back down. If you wanted, you could keep it the same direction, I'm sure, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here. Then I want to make sure I line that one up perfect so that it's not showing. And because I stamped that edge with grass, I have to be super careful. I'm going to just, again, hold it in place. And then I'm going to come back in and do the other side. And now this is starting to look like our neighbor's gate. They have this beautiful white trellis and no plants growing over it, and at night it's lit up and it is just gorgeous. So I'm going to just go ahead and hold that in place. And then remember this last one that I already pre-stamped? I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on that and add it 1 more time. That gives me the 3 dimensions. I could even really go stack it 4 if I wanted to really pop it up. But for today, because you're watching, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Again, it's tedious watching me glue, I'm sure. I don't know how you guys have been liking the stamp sale. I have seen several of you, and Melissa here has had a big purchase of getting things that she had on her wish list for a long time and now grabbing them. So if you're on the fence, get it, fence, this is a good time to order some of those stamps and thin cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. And again, the first time went easy. We'll see, hopefully, the second time. One of the things I'm fearful about is I want to make sure that with glue on my hand that I don't smudge the stamping here. And I'm going to have to get a little bit. And the glue allows me to just work with it for just a minute yet. So here we go, and I'm going to hold it. I haven't found that this fence wants to wiggle out of shape, but if you were to find it, you could also just put an ink block over it and let it sit for a few minutes just to go ahead and get solid. Melissa mentioned that she's working through her seasons in the window die, and I do love that. I have one more to go. I have the summer season to go. Some of the parts that I've cut out too to try and finish my card, which I may not do today, just because of time, but Close to My Heart was smart enough to put in 4 of these little rose dies so that you can cut multiples at once. And these here, I was able to cut more than one layer at one time. And then I can either come in and stamp on top of it, or I think they look cute enough like that if you do them in colored paper. So that's an option to put on my trellis. Another option, well, let's see how that looks on the paper now. See how beautiful that looks? So here was my original card, which is cute enough. But then when I add the fence going in both directions, I just think, whoa, that looks so pretty. So I could add a little bit more grass on the bottom. This rabbit is from the Thin Cut Snuggle Up, which is on sale also right now. So you can find a lot of stamps that were in the online. We also added some great things to the clearance. So if you haven't ordered yet, I would suggest checking out that clearance site. I was also thinking I didn't have to glue down this fence. I could put it in loose and tuck in my bear behind here. It is just so cute, that little bear. So if I didn't glue that down and just glued the arch down, you could open it up, and you could even just kind of crimp it there and fold it first. This stamp and die comes with the stamp set, and some of the sentiments included are: in every garden a little rain must fall, sending a garden of birthday wishes, and thanks a bunch. So that would be cute too, depending on the sentiment. You could turn it in either direction. You could pop it up, or you wouldn't even have to put it on, but you could put it on anywhere. So now my hard part is trying to decide how to finish this up. But the main thing I wanted to show you is how easy it was to turn this gate into a gate with a picket fence. And that gives you a whole nother, options for using your stamp set, which I always like to have options. Just wanted to show you one thing that I've been working on. Now my daughter is upstairs, so I'm going to kind of whisper, but I'm working on her birthday card. And I was inspired by a card that Amy made. It was a shaker with coffee cups. But I had this beautiful birthday cake left over from a stamp of the month. I think it was 2020. It might even be going back to 2019. It's Your Day to Sparkle. But I had so much fun. These sequins are from Close to My Heart. I have the silver ones, and then I added the little tiny silver star sequins, and I don't know if you can see those, but it is so nice. And I went ahead and I cut my foam tape along there, and then I boxed it out, and I even boxed out this one so that I would have shaker down here and not to waste the whole card, and to kind of keep them in place. Afterwards, I remembered that I had the foam, and these are from Close to My Heart too, and you have the large foam, and these match our thin cut dies. You can get them with the square and rectangles. So you have actually 3 layers of different sized rectangle shapes, and it does come with the acetate. Melissa the bear is from Close to My Heart. He is from at least 4 years ago. I'll have to go back and check, but it was a Father's Day stamp set. He comes with a fishing pole and I think it said like Papa Bear, so he's quite a bit older now, but I'm sure if you look into your stash, we have so many fun different critters that would fit behind that gate. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to finish this card and come back and share what it's going to look like. So thanks for tuning in early on my Monday motivation. If you like what you saw, leave me an emoji or leave me a comment. If you have a question, I'll come back and answer them. And Facebook always loves the interaction, because then they'll start showing my video more. Even if you currently subscribe to our Facebook group, if you're not signed up to get notifications immediately, then you may or may not see my post, which is really sad. So we have over 100 members, and typically only about 20 to 30 of you will see most of my posts. So if you're seeing this video, double check your notifications, make sure that you're getting all posts, and you'll get to see more of what's going on. Melissa, I think a dog at the gate is a super idea, and we do have several cute dog stamps. So, well, enjoy your week, enjoy your weather. I hope it stays warm by you, and I will see you next week for my next Monday motivation. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.